I want to talk about financial advice. The real stuff people come to this channel for. Money issues, how to deal with your finances, how to get a good job, and how to plan for your financial future.
I know how to deal with my finances.
Well, your finances are terrible. Mine are a little better, but that's
what
really...
What do you mean?
Yeah, it's just because I have less bills than you.
Okay.
Yeah, your finances are terrible. That's what I mean.
Well, we have a property. We have to pay taxes. We have a...
Yeah, I know. That's terrible.
Okay. First of all, what I do, I budget my money. Okay?
No. Let's start before that. Well, let's start before that. You're 18 or you're 20 or whatever. You need work.
Oh, I tell you.
Let's say you need work.
On hours?
Well, let me say what I did. You were in a different place, or what? Actually, you were in America by that age, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, look. My first job was working at a movie theater. I was making, I don't know, $8 an hour, $9 an hour, something as a movie theater usher.
You were in high school?
No, college.
Okay.
Then within a few months, I was promoted to manager, which I really liked in a way. I mean, I liked being promoted. It was more money, more responsibility, although it was... Even though it was less physical work in a way, it was much more exhausting and fatiguing because of the responsibility. What my mistake was, first of all, I had 0 bills at that point. So first thing I would do every day for lunch, I'd go to the food court and spend $10 for lunch. I would never do that now. Big mistake. Save any money you can on food. Bring your own lunch to work. That was for one thing. I easily spent thousands of dollars at lunch because I never thought about it. And then I would buy a bunch of DVDs and video games.
Movies.
By the end of working there for a year or so, I saved up about $3,000. And then $1,500 went right away to pay. I lent Dad that he never, and Michael never paid me back for Michael's surgery that he had. And then the other $1,500 I just blew over the last year and a half or 2 years of college. So that was a big mistake too, which is, but I was in a sort of a rough spot. I really, I would have barely held it together for a job. I wasn't feeling good, but the one thing I gotta say is work all the time. Do not waste time on vacations and trips. You don't deserve vacations and trips until you have $1 million. And you don't want to do that to yourself.
Exactly.
You do not want to do that. By the end of college, I was dead broke. And then I wasn't able to get a job for a year. I was desperately applying to job after job. Well, okay, wait, I did get one temporary job for like 3 weeks doing data processing. That was like 3 weeks. It was actually a sweet gig. I wish I could do that again. But no, I'm not done. And then I worked at a UPS warehouse from 2 to 6 in the morning.
I remember that.
2 to 6 in the morning for like 2 weeks. That was hellish and I wasn't good at it. But UPS is a good company if you didn't graduate from college like me. It won't stop you necessarily and they have good benefits and everything. But work wasn't even horrible itself. It was the hours drove me crazy. 2 to 6 in the morning, coming home and then never being sure how much should I sleep or not. Point is this, always be working and making money because now I'm behind the curve. Now I'm 31 and fortunately the last few years I wised up. And I was working 2 jobs, so I've already said I'm a bouncer. I was working at 2 bars, basically 13 nights in a row with 1 night off every 2 weeks for about 6 months. And I was doing videography for a company and traveling around doing that, absolutely exhausted. And I was still making YouTube videos. So moved to Annandale, paying rent there, paying off my car. That was a big mistake. Buying the car without understanding how long I was going to have to pay it off, which was about 4 years. It would have been much better if I saved up but see, that was another mistake because I bought another car before that, a used one that would be fun to drive. It was from my boss, a Mitsubishi Galant 95, and the car was old as hell. I mean, it was only, at the time, it was 2009 I bought it, a 1995 car, but parts on it that were there from when the car was made that badly needed to be replaced. So I had it for about 6 months or so and got rid of it because it was going to cost more than I paid for the car to fix. Bottom line is this, keep working. I cannot understand the mentality of I'm going to go out and I'm going to spend money on stuff and I'm going to relax. My lifestyle is very, very minimal, considering the fact that I am living in a nicer place now. I was saving even more money before in Annandale, but that was miserable. So I really worked to be able to have a nicer place, and I lucked out too that the price. But bottom line is this, what I really would have liked to have done, what I should have done and told myself is, first of all, ease up on all the misery I was having, get some help earlier. because that prevented me from working more. And then just keep working jobs and saving money, and seriously save not 10% a month, 20%, put away 50% a month.
Exactly.
In savings.
That's how you
You absolutely should, because then what happened? Oh, a little mistake here, a little car accident, whatever, things mess up there, and then job I hated, I would quit, and then I'd barely be making money to get by. So bottom line is, all this work was spread out instead of concentrating it heavily, because basically, I believe you should never have free time until you're making a lot of money. But you can turn work into something that is sort of social for you. Like, I'm working when I'm making YouTube videos, and that's something I'm leveraging into a career. And I'm working when I'm doing stuff like I mentioned in an earlier video, trying to do sales training. That's another, yeah, I'm meeting people, I'm talking, whatever. Whatever you're doing, if you're a stand-up comedian, it's fine. Keep working at that, and then work during the day, and maybe have some side business, sell something to get a little extra money. You are gonna seriously be screwed by the time you're my age or my mom's age if you're not working all the time. I was doing a lot of work when I was in college because I was going to school full-time, working about 30 hours just on weekends. If I didn't spend so much money on food out, just lunch and DVDs, where I bought several hundred DVDs and several $100s worth of video
did
games.
that? Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
I probably bought 200 DVDs or so in a year and a half. I can't remember. And I didn't think about it. And I wouldn't even buy them cheap online. I would go downstairs to Suncoast Video to buy them because I liked hanging out with the people there. But see, the funny thing is, like, one of the main guys I knew there, total slacker, he's probably more behind than me now in many ways as far as his career goes. He might be making more money than me, but I know what I'm doing now, it's like this deferred gratification, it's gonna bring about so much more by not going out. So I really basically never go out. The last time I've been out with friends that was unrelated to something with work, I can't remember, I'm not sure. Because even when I met my one friend, crazy friend who's Shuret, who's a mortgage banker, I was training him on sales training. In your 20s, keep working. Work 2 jobs if you can, and learn some skill for a business or whatever. I believe in studying Jordan Belfort's system, straight line persuasion. If you have anything you want to be able to sell to make your own business and make a lot of money, you have to stop working for other people and be able to work for yourself, or at least have some kind of sales job. Because without the ability to sell, you'll be severely limited in how much money you can make. For most people, you're gonna have to wait for other jobs to open up. Have no free time, work all the time, stop wasting time going out so much. It's just a dead end. That's how I blew my money the last year of college. Before and after class, I would go to bars with my friends, and I didn't realize how much money I was spending so quickly. I would spend maybe $500, not just on whatever, going to bars, but like fast food, stuff like that. I would look at that even years afterwards. My credit card ranks up, like it organizes stuff on what categories you spend money on. And I remember in 2012, I looked at it, and I saw in 6 months or something, I spent $500 at fast food like Taco Bell because I would stop there before I'd go to a video shoot or something. And I couldn't believe it. Just because why? I wasn't organized beforehand, didn't have a lunch ready, didn't have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich ready, and just work through it. So now look at how all that's catching up to me. Now I'm still having to work 4 nights a week as a bouncer. And fortunately, I'm in a good position where it pays decent, pretty good hourly. And I've got other opportunities lined up and sort of money coming in, but it's still the same process of me working all the time and never wanting to take a vacation. Really, the closest thing to vacation was, well, okay, I'm cheating here if I only say it was one. In 2012 or 11, I went to New York to see Conan and Jimmy Fallon. Okay, so that was one. Another was when I went to Chicago to go be on the Steve Harvey show, but they were paying for that, so that was a good opportunity, and I made a video from that. So even there, I was working. The point is, you're leveraging. That's money and value. It's not just money. It's monetizing value that you're leaving on the table when you're not working. And that's what Gene Simmons says of the band Kiss. He's worth like $250 million now, because he says if you're 20 years old, in your 20s or whatever, you shouldn't have any free time. You have 7 days a week. Why work 40 hours a week? Look at all this other time you have. You should be working other businesses, pick up a second job, pick up whatever extra money you can and save up, and then turn that into your own business. I'm not telling everybody quit your jobs and just go out and start a business. No, that'd be irresponsible. I'm saying find a way to make your own business and have really exciting goals that are apart from working a crappy job. But that was, my problem was I didn't know what I was going to do, even though I knew I wanted to work in film. And as a result, I just kind of drifted from job to job. But it was the good thing was working all the years, making videos for free. Like I would do videography for free, hundreds of videos. It started lining up all the elements I needed to learn to where when an opportunity came, I was ready to take it. Now, who knows what opportunities I've missed, but now I know the more I work, even if I fail at something, instead of before like it being a total disaster and it not working, now I'm failing elegantly and it's an empowering failure. I can learn from it and I dissect it and I immediately know how to turn it into a success the next time. And that way it can be a much bigger success. So that way I'm not so frustrated, because I would frequently wonder, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna do it? And the lucky breaks come the more you work hard. And that's what I respect. I don't care if someone's smart or not, really. That's, you know, the funny thing is I know people who aren't necessarily that smarter, but when they have a good attitude of wanting to work and not even thinking about it, just wanting to go out and do the work, that's so much more valuable than somebody who maybe has more brains, but they don't want to move forward because they have reasons why they're not going to do it. I knew guys like that everywhere I was, in video, film, comedy. I wanted to work with comedians, and some guys would just have their excuses why they didn't want to do something, and in reality it was nothing that was holding them back. They could have easily done it. So it's a matter of aligning your perception too, to understand you delay gratification, don't go out, stop screwing around, and keep working. And that value is going to pay off so much more. When you're miserable at first and you think, oh, I'm working Friday night or Saturday night or something, it pays off so much more when you have the freedom and you have the skills and, you know, the conviction and knowledge and confidence that it's not just the money, but the value you're providing for yourself and others, and you monetize that and you get money from it. But it's not just money itself, it's giving a value and creating something to now where it feels so much better and I understand what I'm working for. But yeah, for a while it was like, what am I going to do? Where am I going to go? How's this going to work out? I worked at a bank. I worked washing cars.
Oh, the bank.
Yeah, and I thought for a while, oh, maybe I'll work my way up the bank and become a manager and then become a senior level something and just make a lot of money there. But I quickly realized, no, I pretty much learned all I wanted there, and I really want to do film anyways. But I thought maybe this will be an easy enough career to fall into. A year and a half or so. I thought it would be an easy enough career to just like have a good time there. You know, you don't have to work too hard. And in the end, it's not, it might be for some people. I mean, I'm sure it is for some people. But for me, I realized, oh, that's setting really low goals for myself. And I'm not putting down working at a bank. You can be a great bank employee. Mm-hmm. I'm saying, for me, I was like, I know that's sort of just trying to do the easy way. And in the end, the easy way wasn't that much fun anyways, and I didn't feel good doing it, and I knew I needed to get other skills. Yeah. So you have 7 days a week, you should be working 7 days a week at something, even if one day is paying money to do something or doing it for free to build skills for yourself. Anyway, that's what I have to say. In your 20s, take advantage, and early as you can, in your teens, pick up a little extra money. So you're not paying off a car like me for 4 years, and I'm lucky that it didn't get repossessed or something like it easily could have when I was sick. Yeah. You know, like stuff I had to get taken care of, because then I had nothing going for me. Yeah. Save as much as you humanly possible. Now I'm in a fortunate position to sort of get by where I am. But I want to be doing so much more. Yeah. But now I have a much better plan for getting there. And if one route fails, that's fine. I just knock it out and rework it into something else, leverage it into something else.
Well, I started working before 20, okay? I was in my late teens, obvious, after high school. And I was going to school. I came here, I was working, and I was going to school. I have a rough time with a relative who I don't even want to get into it. But when I started working and I was going to school and pay my own rent and everything else, it was so much better. But I had my life. I always saving money since I was a little girl. Even if you save it and then next month you gotta pay your bill, that's how you pay your bill. You have to save it, okay? But I was going to school. I have few friends which I trust and they trust me. And I was going to school at night. And I was working at daytime at the hot shop at Bailey's Crossroads. They close about, I don't know, 18, maybe 15. I don't even remember. It's Best Buy now there. You know.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, so what I did, I know I cannot spend all my money. I had to save money. What I did, I save, like, from my paycheck, I have in a credit union so much taken out on savings, okay? And then I have little jar, I have a bank account. I have an account in First Virginia Bank, I think. It's still around, I don't know. And, you know, I was going to cash my check, and I put in so much money in that account, and I had to have money for my bus, for my little food I had taken, my whatever. When I had to buy something, because I was a young person and I want a young girl, if I want to buy, I mean, you know, you come to the point you need your socks, you need your dress, you need something. The dress, if I have to buy, and I had to go out with my friends, not all the time, to somebody's house, because they're having a party here, party there. Married couples, okay, they invite me because I used to babysit for their kids, besides my job on weekends. So I was putting my dress, whatever I was buying, you know, to go to church and to go out to my friend's house, on layaway. And every week, because at the time I was getting paid weekly, okay, and I was getting tips, I was waiting tables. So I put in all the coins in the jars and my single dollars and whatever, and little by, and I was putting on layaway whatever I was buying. Maybe 3 times a year I had to buy something, okay? So I was very careful what I was doing. By the time I was babysitting weekends, that money went to savings. My tips for waiting tables, because I had good tips, going to savings. My paycheck, it wasn't much, but that was that money, I keep it for myself, to buy my milk, to buy my food, whatever, little bit. I wasn't eating that much at the time I was in, and I was eating at work too. By the time I got married, a little over 30 years ago, I had $40,000 saved. Okay? $40,000 saved. That's because I was taking very little out of the money I was making for my own personal expenses, okay? So I had that money saved, and when I married Dad, he didn't have 2 nickels to rub. He was a military man, but he went through hell with his first marriage, okay? So we're not gonna get into that. So they ripped him off. He had to pay a lot of stuff. But also, Dad is a good man, but he just doesn't budget his money. So all the money I saved, when I got married, we paid the credit card he has, whatever he owed. When I was single and got married, I didn't owe not a dime to no one. I did not have a credit card. I did not have my only was my checking account, my savings account, and I was going little money, cash money on me. And even at home, I suggest have your little cookie jars or whatever. If you say you go to the grocery store and buy $30 with the stuff, and you give them $35 and they give you back $4.20, put that aside, because $4, you'd be surprised, little by little accumulates, okay? Even $4, put it on aside. I save my pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, whatever you get, little by little, because I know this. Money gives you freedom. I don't want money for luxury, but I want it for freedom. What freedom?
Even a night off is something, when you're not, even if you're not paying for it,
Exactly.
that's the freedom that money gives. Because
Exactly.
if you don't have it, then you don't have a free night.
Exactly.
You have to work. You have to keep making
Yes.
money.
What it is, make sure you have money coming in,
Always.
coming in,
Multiple
coming in,
streams of
coming
income.
in,
That's why
always.
I'm saying
I'm
2
not
jobs
say-
or a side
hold on.
business or sell something.
Wait a minute. I'm not saying believe in money, no. But you need money to get by these days and have extra. Otherwise, I don't know how you survive.
You're going to be driving a crappy car. If you have a car, you're going to be in an unsafe neighborhood or a bad house.
Exactly.
Like a crappy house like me. Also, what I recommend
Not
too,
now,
not
before.
everybody
Yeah.
not everybody needs to go to college. I didn't have any college debt because I had a scholarship there. And really, I
Yes,
didn't
and you
really
go, get your
no.
education, get your education, get your
No,
education.
you can get other trades without college, like plumber or electrician or
Yeah,
whatever,
you can do
and make
that.
a ton of money that way.
Yeah.
Look into stuff like that. Why everybody has this obsession with going to college for degrees they will never use.
Let me tell you
stuff
this.
like English literature,
Okay,
when they're
okay,
or
hold it.
history. If you have a skill you
they're
want,
going to.
go out and get it, but don't assume you need to go to college. College for a lot of people is a waste, and what happens is they get tons of debt, $100,000 that they pay off for 30 years or more. And the problem is that kind of debt, it's not like other debts where you can just ignore it. They will go to court and take money out of your paycheck for the rest of your life.
Garnish your wages, another word.
Yeah,
But the thing
you
is,
cannot
I
escape
know-
that.
Yeah, that can be true in many ways. I know someone, which is his older man now, and he's married with grandkids, but when he went to college, he got a government job. He wouldn't be able to pay all his expenses, so he gave it up and he became a carpenter. He made a ton of money. But this is not for everybody. Anyway, I'm just
Well, the
saying-
point is, I went to college. I gained
Let me-
absolutely
hold it,
nothing
hold it,
valuable
hold
from
it,
it.
hold it.
I learned nothing.
Hold it, but for some people,
I don't tell me that. I'm telling. That's what everybody
my
says.
God. Okay.
That's what everybody. I'm trying to give them
Okay,
the
let me
alternative
finish. Okay,
because
let me-
everybody hears that all the time.
Fine.
You got to go to college. You
Let
got to
me
get a
finish my
degree.
story
If you're going to
because I
go up
gotta
in a
go.
company, you have to have a degree. Everybody hears that already. And college for most people is probably useless.
Okay.
You don't
Let
need
me
it.
tell you
Stop
this.
telling. Oh well, some people do. Everybody hears that
Okay,
already.
fine,
We're
fine,
not here
fine.
to tell people what
Oh,
everybody
guys.
says. No, stop
Okay.
speaking over me. I'm not here to just repeat what everybody hears. I'm here to give them some useful information that they don't
right.
always hear.
So the bottom line.
Oh, but you might have to go to college.
Okay, the bottom line is save you money. Don't waste it to buy candy or
Don't go to college unless you really need it. You're going to spend
or
so
to
much
buy
money just to
whatever.
goof around for 4 years.
Just be careful with your money because someday the older you get, the more money you need. So if you have it, you don't have to sweat. So keep working, have a good will, eat healthy, try to do the right thing, whatever you do, your job, and get along with everybody.
Especially film school, I can't imagine why anybody needs to go to
Hold
film
it.
school. Even the
Let me-
connections.
Yeah.
You can go hang out outside the film school and meet the people afterwards and say, hey, with the money I make, I'll pay you a little bit to work on my film or something and get to know them through that. And now you have the internet to distribute your films. I can't
Okay.
imagine why anyone needs to go to film
Right.
school.
So keep
And
your
the
job.
equipment is so cheap. You can shoot movies with your
Right.
cell phone.
Have something extra on the side, extra job on the side if you can. Save you money because someday it's gonna give you freedom. The freedom you need. I'm not talking about luxury. Just the freedom, and just keep the money flow coming in. That's the only one. Because if you don't work and you say, oh, I can take a time off, year off, and say I'll find another job, no matter how much money you have, they're gonna go run like the water who runs on the faucet. That's all I can tell you. So good luck, and just
If you're in your 20s,
think-
you really have no excuse for having free time. You should be working all the time at something. Even if you have a job you don't like, work it in a way so that if you have another job, more money coming in, you can choose something else. You're being proactive and have a plan. Write stuff down and have a plan.
Right.
I've written down so many plans. I have so many hundreds probably of note cards of video ideas that don't always work out. That's fine. You end up transitioning to the one that works.
And down budget your money. Always. Don't buy, because when you go to the store and say, oh, this is on sale. That blouse is, oh, my God, from $70 now it's $9.99. Don't do it. Buy what you need.
All right, don't tell people stuff like they already know.
Okay.
I still have clothes from over 10 years ago now that I wear. Not many, probably one shirt. But I try and have. I've only purchased a few pairs of clothes in the last few years. Yet don't give people your stupid, crappy advice. College for most people is useless because you will never advance in your career with it. Most colleges, I mean, you won't learn what you need to for your field. I can tell you that. I mean,
709.
I mean, so many people who have went to college and are struggling now, and it was pointless, and you can go out and get a career if you want, but you have to think what you're going to get. You're going to have to work really hard without college. Don't think so conventionally like I'm going to work a job 5 days a week and then go out nights, and that's it. That's a really crappy goal. Okay. Bill Burr, the comedian, he's a great comedian. I was listening to him today. He was talking about not giving up on your dreams. He was telling people, don't give up. Like he said, he bombed probably constantly as a comedian for 11 years before he actually got good at it and where people would pay tickets to see him. And he said there was a 5-year period where he basically had no social life. No girlfriend, no parties, no going out to bars, nothing. But now he's much happier because he's gotten that career and he can fill up stadiums for shows. But before that, he said like he was sleeping on his friend's futon and he was really struggling for a while, but he knew he wanted this and he wouldn't give up. But like for 5 years, he just had no social life. But that's a good thing. That's what you delay gratification. That's what I've been doing, but I'm glad to. It's not even a problem. Stop talking. I'm still talking.
Oh, okay.
Why are you giving... You give crappy advice like only buy stuff that you need, which doesnnn't help anyone. And then I'm telling you a story about someone who's successful. Not you.
Okay.
But when you delay the gratification, you just work at things first. It's so much, it makes things so much easier. I mean, you understand what you're working for as you keep doing it, and it's not even a second thought for me now. It's not even a struggle to say, do I want to go out or not? If I go out, I'm like, wait, not only will I not be making money, I'll be losing money. I'm not even going to stay even, and for nothing that I'm going to gain. Whereas if I work, I can find meaningful ways of dealing with people and
what's the thing behind
No. And it's going to be such a bigger value and get me so much more money as opposed to before when I didn't even know how I was going to get paid doing videos or whatever else. And now, and also the other thing I want to say is even when no one's looking, you should be trying to improve yourself. Like even if it's not in competition with anyone else or if it's not an employer who's standing to evaluate you to give you a raise, you should still be trying to improve yourself, learn business skills. I studied Jordan Belfort the last few years, his sales system, and I want to do something with that. Because I knew unless I learn how to sell and persuade and talk to people and influence, I'm never going to be able to make movies the way I want. And so the people who don't do that, they think maybe there's nothing they're losing by just living an average life, a normal life, and going out or traveling or whatever. They're only going to get so much success. And they set crappy goals for themselves. So in your 20s, always look out for new skills, have goals, write them down, have plans, and when the plans don't work out, that's fine. You find new plans, but have a vision of how you're going to achieve things. And what that means, what's it going to look like? What's it going to feel like? Those are very important things. Have those reminders there. Whenever I see a nice car like a Tesla, I remember instantly why I want to work so much. Or a great movie or something. You should be working all the time, always finding new skills to improve yourself. And you can do anything without college. College is such a joke for most people. Oh, you need a $100,000 debt to learn English literature, and that way you can struggle to become a tenured professor in 30 years.
Yeah. I know. Okay.